Hello, 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 and welcome to week 3 of EDU7550. We are rolling along, ladies and gentlemen, and as I said in my last email, it's Tuesday night here where I'm at. I'm doing the video a little bit early because obviously I'll be out of town, and the 4th of July is on Thursday, so I'm going to get this out to you guys tonight with some great things going on in our course and moving right along. What I want to do tonight in the video is really go over a bunch of things with you. So pay attention, watch it twice. Some of you email me. Thank you for the feedback. I will keep doing these, and you can laugh at me all you want. No cat visits, though. They're upstairs with my wife and hanging out. And it is my anniversary today, so married 24 years. And you can tell me happy anniversary in an email or something, or in your post, wherever you'd like. And we're going away for the weekend because of that. But I had to work today, unfortunately. Well, it's okay. I don't mind working. It's a good thing. But first thing tonight is reminder. There's a couple of you that still have to do your response post for discussion forum week 2. That is due tomorrow, Wednesday the 3rd by 11:55 p.m. And there is, I think, one of you that still has to turn in that tutorial inventory in the portal. Get that in by tomorrow night, July 3rd, 11:55. Starting week 3, we're going to be moving into Leverage Leadership, the other textbook. And you will find this textbook very useful as well. Not as great as DataWise. I'm sure you're getting into DataWise already and realizing how helpful that book is going to be. But Leverage Leadership also helps you understand getting your staff in line for what you have to do. And again, each week I'll bring you more data and information about those pieces. You're also working on the WCG number 2 assignment, that is the student learning results, and I think all but 2 of you have done that. I haven't checked chalk and wire today, but I will look at it when I'm done with this video. You have the week 3 discussion forum. Again, please make sure you do your initial post by Monday night. So Monday is July 8th. Make sure you do your initial post by then, and then your 2 response posts by July 10th, which is next Wednesday. And the last thing you're going to have this week is the data chat on July 7th. That is Sunday, or 9th. That is Tuesday of next week. So you're going to have a data chat with me. Attached to the email with this video link is a data set. What I want you to look at is that data set, and I want you to come up with some ideas about where the needs are, what you would do, and how you can get that school going in the right direction of where they need to grow and increase student achievement. There are some prompt questions there. This is directly from the Feely website, so great stuff for you. What's going to happen on July 7th or 9th, again, I told you guys this in the last video, but I'll repeat it again, is I'm going to email you about 6:55 p.m. with a link. You're going to then log in to Zoom. And on my computer or iPad, I have a little Brady Bunch thing where I see all your faces across the screen. And I'm going to ask you some questions about the data. We're going to spend about 15-20 minutes talking about that. Again, I am looking for you to respond. I want you to have some idea of what you would do as a leader in this school and how you would help increase student achievement and overall performance of the school. I'm looking for each person to respond. Again, doesn't matter if you come July 7th and the 9th. It's the same discussion, just different people. And each week you can switch between the ones if you want to. We're going to have it for 4 straight weeks. At the end of the discussion, I will come up with some points and things. I'll confirm what you guys have said and talk about things I've done in my career and how this gets applied, at least in Hillsborough County Schools. You will then work on a summary, 1-2 paragraphs. What did you learn? How is it going to affect you now as a teacher and as a future leader? And you're going to submit that in a chalk and wire the portal under week 3. There's a video discussion forum there as well for you posting that. Now on that piece, there is no deadline to turn it in. You have to the end of the course. But again, a reminder, I've had folks wait to the end of the course. Not a good idea. You want to get that done as soon as possible. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is the upcoming midterm exam, which is going to be in week 4. That is next week. And that's only going to cover DataWise chapters 1, 2, and 3, which I'm going over, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going over 3 and 4 in this video. I'll also touch a little bit on Leverage Leadership chapter 1, which is going to be on that test. You should be looking ahead at your other WCG assignments. That includes the John Hattie research paper. I want to take a moment with you, and I want to go over that John Hattie research paper and looking at the rubric specifically. Again, in my last video, there was a change in the college and what they want done. This is not going in chalk and wire. John Hattie paper, not in chalk and wire. It's going to go in the portal. There's a place to upload it now. I know one of you sent me your paper. I haven't looked at it yet. That's one of my things to do for tonight. It's been a very busy week already. So in this paper, you've got to provide 7 examples of research-based practices from John Hattie's work on effect size. Basically, he's got like 250 effect sizes. You got to talk about 7 of them. Just 7 of them is all you got to talk about. You have to provide how that's going to be used and impacting your role as a future school leader. This is one of those assignments where it's not about you as a teacher. How will this impact you as a future leader in a school? And you got to write at least 5 pages. You should be able to get that done. Don't forget to cite any works you're using from John Hattie, a page of cites after that. But 5 pages, Times New Roman, double-spaced, will work out for you on that paper. And again, if you want me to read it, that one is not due until July 24th. So as long as I get yours by, say, July 20th, even 21st, I'll have a chance to read it over for you. And that one person that's waiting on me, I apologize. It got away from me. I spent the weekend with the nice weather painting my house. So much fun. So much fun to paint your house. But at least I look at it and say, hey, look at that work I did. The other 2 WCG assignments, again, are really important in that you're doing them out of order. So don't forget that they are going to be done out of order. The first one is WCG number 5, and that comes first. And then WCG number 4 comes second. So number 5 is the data and assessment proposal. You want to be talking with a school administrator right now because you have to look at 2 areas of need. 2 areas of need. You will find a complete description of this particular piece on page 7 of the syllabus. And in there it talks about looking at performance growth areas and areas that are going to be needs for your school. So you've got to identify 2 of those. Then you've got to describe the evaluation of student learning based on performance and growth assessments. You've got to describe the areas of need based on accountability measures, and you've got to describe them based on state-adopted standards and district curriculum appropriate to your school. You've got to do that based on strategies to increase motivation, and you've got to look at ways to inform stakeholders. There's a lot of things in here, and it also gets feedback from your administrator. So you've got to get feedback from your administrator on this piece. And I want you to look carefully at those items on page 7 to make sure you do all those things properly. You don't miss anything in there. That one leads right into number 4, which is the IDLP, which is in the WCG framework. There's a link there on page 6. And this is going to have you put together a plan. I want you to make sure you look at the rubric for that one as well. That particular rubric is specific in that you have to have 4 strategies in each area, and you got to make sure you have those strategies in your ILDP. Now, the last time I taught this class, students had difficulty getting the right thing in. I've got to see all those strategies. So when you go to print this out off the ILDP, off chalk and wire, you may have to actually give me something that's separate. You may actually type it in a Word document first. That's entirely up to you. But in the past, I've had some students submit only partial pieces. I've got to see everything listed on that rubric, so do make sure you address that piece. More about those assignments coming up in the coming weeks, but I do want you to be looking ahead because if not, they will get here way before you even know it. All right, last thing tonight is our chapters in a text. The first one is chapter 3 in the data-wise text, and this talks about analyzing data and finding a story. This is so fitting for what we're about to do in week 3 with our data chats. And when you see this data set I'm going to send you, you're going to be like, oh, I know what Dr. Richmond was talking about. There it is. You have to have an understanding of how data works. And you will not leave that data chat session with me on the 7th or the 9th without understanding how this data works and how it fits into the bigger piece of the puzzle. But this chapter talks all about how you display the data, how you allow your staff members to make sense of the data, and how you come in and support them. One of the most important things you have to remember to do as an administrator is you are still a teacher. You are still a teacher. You are still teaching your teachers how to be better teachers and teacher leaders, how to better service students. Because one of the things under the principal leadership standards is that you will attract, retain, and train a highly effective workforce in your building. That's a principal leadership standard. That's part of Florida law for our principals in schools. And so as an administrator, assistant principal, or principal, you're going to be working on those things. And this chapter, chapter 3, is so huge. Looking at trends, looking at things. It's every time I read this and I'm like, data chat coming next week. I don't want to spoil all the beans that are going to come out of that data chat. But if you've read this chapter thoroughly and looked to use the outline I've given you guys, you're going to find that, wow, this really does fit in. Chapter 4 also fits into our data chat, called Digging into Data. And it's carefully looking at data sources, carefully understanding what you're going to use, and looking at multiple data sources. So sometimes you only have FSA data. Sometimes you have FSA, you might have iReady, you might have district assessments, you might have something else out there helping you. The important thing to understand is using data as a tool to drive learning, to improve instruction, and to understand trends and what's going on in your school. And we're going to look at that piece when we look at this data set this week and, of course, in weeks 4, 5, and 6. So that is some good information for you as you look there. And give me 1 second while I open the last piece, which is going to be our outline for Leverage Leadership Chapter 1. And here we go. So in Leverage Leadership Chapter 1, one of the important things you want to think about is data-driven instruction. So I put this chapter here because you now have a better understanding of data from reading chapters 1 through 4, listening to me and what we've talked about, and this week looking at the data chats. This piece is going to talk about a roadmap. It's going to talk about understanding what the data means, walking the walk, and understanding what you have to do, because you have to model what you want teachers to do. You also have to think about, okay, we are here, we want to be here, what is the best way to get there? And that's all part of this first data-driven instruction chapter. Like I said, this book fits in right as a supplement to what we're doing in DataWise. You're going to see a lot of tie-overs in this first chapter as you work. I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed though. When we go through this data set on the 7th, on Sunday or Tuesday, you're going to see how that piece fits in, and it's going to really make a lot of sense to you at that point. If it doesn't, you're going to text me, you're going to email me, I'll put another video and say, hey, remember we did this, and here's how it fits in. So that's it for this week. I hope you guys have a very, very happy and a healthy 4th. Enjoy the time with your families. I said my anniversary today, and 24 years with my wife, and very excited with those pieces, and looking forward to 25 next year. And I'm very sorry you guys don't get any kind of data chats or videos from across the world. This summer I'm staying home saving money, but if you catch up with me sometime during winter break of this year, you'll find me in California and Las Vegas. That's where I'll be. That's what we're saving up for. So you guys enjoy, though, this week, weekend, and take some time with your families and enjoy what this great country gives us and this great education system we are. We are the future. We are the future of this country, and we have to keep raising great citizens, and that starts with good teachers and good leaders supporting them. So that's it for this week. I'll be back with you guys more over the weekend with an update when I'm back in town. But feel free to text or email me if you have questions, and I'll see you guys real soon.